Hey, Quants. I'm not planning on going over the charts today. Today is going to be a bit of a promo slash sharing some building related stuff. So first off, let's start off with the kind of promo related stuff. Well, it's all related to the same thing. So I did previously go over the ClickAlchemy website that I was going to be working on, or that I had been working on, and I mentioned that it was getting pretty close. And there are a few finishing touches that I want to put on there. But because I didn't want to wait to let people who are interested sign up to be notified when it was ready, I went ahead and put up this email page. I'm going to put this in the description. So if you would like to sign up, you can you'll be able to get the sign up there. But since I'm on here, let me just go ahead and show this here. So you should be able to see right there, ClickAlchemy.ai/waitlist. And if you just go to ClickAlchemy.ai, so if you just go to ClickAlchemy.ai, you'll be redirected to the waitlist because that's the only thing that's live right now. So you don't have to remember the /waitlist part, but you just enter in your email address here. I already tested this out, so if I put in the test that I've been using, it's just going to say that you've already joined, and then that way I will be able to notify everybody when this is ready. My expectation is that I will have this done next week. However, I might want to let it simmer a little bit with some test users, and so with that, I probably won't actually release it to the public for a couple of weeks at least. And of course, if test users find any issues, I've been using it myself now for probably. It started in an infant type of state, but where I wouldn't even call it what it is today, where I was using that a few months ago, and then it just evolved to what it is today, which I've probably been working on this for, well, maybe a couple of months at least now, but I did have kind of the core pieces there that I was using already. So if you're interested in joining, go ahead and join that. The other thing, just a total random thought, I have been loving these Starbucks cold foam, chocolate cold foam, cold brew coffees. I've probably for almost 2 years now, I've just been drinking them. I started out drinking them way too much, and I figured out how to make them. There's some YouTube videos on there on how to make them yourself because I figured I was spending too much money on Starbucks. And then I felt like I was just drinking too much coffee. But this thing, I just want to show it because, man, does that look delicious? It is delicious. And the one thing I will say, I can't drink these every day, which I'll just get fat if I do. So I typically go to Starbucks and drink one of those once a day. So a part of my sharing that is, hey, if you do appreciate some of the stuff that I do and you would like to support me, maybe help me buy one of these coffees. When this product is released, I am attempting to price it such that it is significantly cheaper than any other product similar to this out on the market. Based on my own testing, it seems like the prices that they're charging for the expense of everything is overblown. And so I've seen some of these products upwards of about $40 a month. And so I'm trying to cut that by about a quarter, at least for the starter plans. Of course, these things due to processing will get more expensive as their price goes up. I'm not trying to just make a ton of money here. This was just born out of an idea that was shared, that I saw some other people sharing. And I thought that once I started using this, I just had all these other ideas that I wanted to wrap up. And so I'll be using this either way. And I just figured, since I can't give it away for free because then I'd have to be subsidizing everybody's cost for that. I do have to charge something for it. So I'm attempting to price it such that it will not make me a ton of money, but will benefit me somewhat, slightly, just barely over the cost of what it essentially takes to run, since I'm using this myself, and I'd like other people to be able to use it as well. And so that is that. Since I did demo this last time, I won't spend a whole lot of time demoing this. I will do another bit of a promo video when I officially release this, but just to give everybody kind of an update, The video links here, I don't know if I had this in here before, but you can add more links. So if you have, for example, if you want to put in, if you use this kind of workflow and you could potentially have different videos associated to each of these or different thumbnails. I'll get on that in a minute, but if you're using TikTok or Instagram, and you can use that to create your thumbnails and your content, at least some of the content that you're helping to generate those. This is essentially my thought idea for this is for beginners. If you already know what you're doing, you probably don't need something like this other than potentially to optimize your workflow. And so if you're a beginner and you just have no clue and it just seems overwhelming to be able to post something on YouTube because you have to come up with the title, you have to come up with a description, you got to come up with a thumbnail, you want to know if your thumbnail is going to be performing well, and you just don't know any of that stuff, and so that is keeping you away from doing that kind of stuff. This is intended to help you get over that, right? And so you can come in here, you put in your idea, it's gonna help generate your title, it's gonna help you generate your description, and then it's gonna generate a thumbnail that will be good, right? And ultimately, the idea is that it's gonna perform really well. If that one doesn't perform well, you can also just create some other thumbnails and try those ones out and see how those do. And I'll get down on the thumbnail model here in a second. But my point about that is, once you have a finished product or a published URL, you can put it here. And so I haven't seen this with a lot of the other platforms. I have seen some that are tightly integrated with YouTube. This one is not intended to be tightly integrated with YouTube. Maybe you're doing Rumble, maybe you're doing YouTube, maybe you're doing TikTok, right? So you could just put the link in here as reference. I mentioned in the future, I'd likely add some analytics on this so that it will actually go out to the platform for this specific link, run some analytics, and then you can compare those analytics with the results that you're getting from the click score analytics here, and then make data-driven decisions about how you want to change or update your thumbnail, or potentially update that content from a metadata perspective, and see if you can get some better results there. Obviously, this isn't generating the content for you. That's still on you. So you got to get on camera and you're going to have to talk or produce whatever content you're producing. So that was the first thing. So you could put in multiple URLs here, because maybe you cut up your content and you did YouTube, you did Rumble, maybe you also did make a short, like a short out of that, or a TikTok video out of that, and you can link all of those on here. You don't have just one. And so the workspace is intended, and I haven't seen anybody else doing this actually, and so I think this is novel for this particular product. You can have one workspace for your project idea that goes out to multiple platforms, and then you can iterate on that project here. So now I did talk about the templates in that. So I'm going to skip over that. Titles I spoke about last time. The generate description I talked about last time, and so you could change the type of description here. One thing I will mention that might not be obvious, maybe I should change this. We have the titles here. You click the title, and the title is going to be used for generating your description, right? And so the workflow is when you're adding this content to YouTube or wherever, you just click this button and it'll copy the title, and then you just go over there and paste it. Click your description, it'll copy it and go over there and paste it, right? Okay, down to where some of these new updates are. So what I did was I added some different aspect ratios. I don't think I had added that before. And so this is where if you're producing different content for like a portrait style frame in a YouTube short, or a TikTok video, or Instagram, you can change that. You can change that there. You can create square content there. I can't remember what platform that was related to, but regardless, you can create square content. The default will be auto, and that's going to be what you've seen recently on most of my channels. I only recently broke these out into different styles, and so you can have different styles here. And the one that I want to point out, well, I'm going to go through a few of these here. So first of all, let me skip over here. So I just want to mention, let's see, if I click, so this was a square one, right? And so you'll see the image actually renders square, so you know it's square. The other thing about that is I've added some additional details here, which you can see up on the thumbnail here. So in the bottom right corner, you'll see the aspect ratio. You'll also see the type of model up in the top right, so cinematic. If you apply a fix to these, you'll see a little fix icon up here, and then you'll have number 7. And so my point about pointing these out is one thing that I ran into is I'll save the ones that I use to file, and then I'll upload those to YouTube. And what I was finding myself doing is I'd click save and it'd just have the name. This is a very like obvious thing, I think, but it's one of those things people just probably would ignore. But it's a kind of a pain point. Wow, why do I have the dev tools open? Let me go ahead and close that. So one thing that I had noticed there is it just includes the name will all be the same for all of these. But you'll have like underscore thumbnail 7, thumbnail 8. And so that way you can just like download, save, download, save, download, save. You don't have to download, change the name, and then save it, right? And so just a minor piece, but I think helped out a lot in terms of like the workflow. You'll see this is, and so now back up to some of the styles. So we have this illustrative style that's going to give you this. I use this in one of my recent videos, but I also usually what I do is I'll do the tests. And so I'll put in 2 or 3 different ones and just see which one performs better. The other one I wanted to get to was the other aspect ratio, so the portrait. So you can see this one's a portrait aspect ratio, and this was the clean and minimal approach. Obviously, you know, there's not much here. Interestingly enough, the face that I use, it does a good job of making it totally different. And I think I mentioned that last time. The arms don't really look too much like my arms. Can I hold my arms up here? I mean, it does. There, you know, it has a similar skin tone, but you know, it's like if I wanted all that, I might want to get like a full body or like a upper half picture, right? Where it's like, you know, my arms aren't super hairy because I shave my arms. So, and I don't know if those are freckles on there, but the skin tone overall is relatively the same as the face and everything. So it does a pretty good job of that. And I mentioned that before. I don't end up using like a lot of personas because it'll change the face, and I don't feel like I need to have a bunch of different personas. So the other one, and I'm going to switch over here. And so this is another aspect that I didn't really go into. I don't think I went into too much last time, and I'm already going into more now. I will do like a full kind of tutorial breakdown video of this. But under the history here, if I want to come back to a workspace, so again, everything, you have a project that lives in a workspace as opposed to just like a long running chat and you have to scroll up and down. That was just something I found pretty much every product doing that I didn't like. I've got this new market style call. I didn't generate any of those in the other one. And so the reason I created this one in particular was for a lot of individuals I see do this very kind of, if you use one of the default models and the typical, trying to satisfy the typical algorithm, you're going to have like these over the top type thumbnails. And I see a lot of people not doing that recently. They've just been doing very kind of plain backgrounds, minimal icon information and text. And so because most of the people that I tend to follow are doing market related stuff, those were the examples that I kind of pulled from to get an idea of like how to get an idea for how to develop, create this style repetitively or consistently. And so with that said, I use the market call. I'm not sure if I really like the name on that yet, but that's what I'm keeping it for now. So I got this market call. I think it gets the idea across of what this is intended for. And so that was the new style that I added. Nothing new to add beyond that. I just wanted to mention in the future, I'll probably have some additional styles, and I'll get into more of the details about the specifics about this in the next video. Right now, I just wanted to let everybody know, go into a little bit more detail about how the progress is coming. And then also the big thing I really wanted to share is if you go to the actual domain, you can sign up for the waitlist, and I'll send out an email when this is released so that everybody who's joined that waitlist will be able to get a notification that it's ready. And if you want to come try it out, you can come try it out. There'll likely be some kind of a free trial or something that will allow me to allow you and other users to use it without, ideally in a way that's not going to cost me a whole bunch of money. so that it just ends up being a wash and I have to take it down. But also in a way that's, like I said, will not be that expensive, in my opinion, compared to what other users are doing. And I think, my goal is not to make a ton of money here, but to provide some value. And so if you guys are interested in that, please go join the waitlist, and it will be up hopefully here in the next couple of weeks, which, barring any issues in testing. And of course, if that happens, I'll be posting videos, and so I'll mention it on the videos. All right, that's going to be it for today. We will catch you on the next one. Peace, quants.